Hello and welcome to another screencast edition of Autodesk Maya. Today we'll be focusing on part 2 of advanced UV mapping. So part 1, we focused on the basics of how to utilize the UV mapping features and how, even though they're 4, we're just focusing on the main 3, which is cylindrical, planar, and spherical. Now, we focus primarily on the planar because one, it's a more simplistic object to UV map. So I use this box as an example. Now, as you can see, everything should be UV mapped. That includes the insides of your extrusions within the box crate. If you haven't done that, please do that now. But other than that, everything should be UV mapped. Also, as a rule of thumb, be sure to have all your UV shells displayed outside of your checkerboard UV coordinate plane. Reason why is once everything's deconstructed as needed, you're going to put it back inside the coordinate plane. Another rule of thumb when UV mapping, be sure to utilize the space and take up all the space that is needed for the UV map. Reason why is any excess negative space can cause a little bit of texturing issues once you're UV mapping, especially putting bump map. You want to take up as much space as you can, leave little to no negative space within the UV coordinate plane. Once I have everything, so I'm going to set up here. As you notice that my boxes from the face front are pretty much large, while the insides of the extrusion are a lot more small. So you're going to make the critical decision of what is enlarged, what is not, because we have to also think of the primary focus of our texture. Anyways, once everything's in here, what you're going to do is go to UV, select UV, highlight all your UV stuff in your UV shell that is in the UV coordinate. Other than that, on the top there is a little camera icon. That is your UV snapshot. What it does, it takes a snapshot and saves an image file to the current UV layout. Basically, it's a reference to put in your textures and bump map. So I'm going to do is select that. It's going to open the snapshot options. Now, be sure to know where your directory is at. If you see some inconsistencies with your directory, be sure to fix that. So, I'm going to look here. It should be within my documents, Maya, projects, cargo box. But for some of you, it may be just documents, cargo box, images. Now, you're going to have a little bit of a name called out UV. So I want you to actually type in box out UV. Because once you start creating at least the color texture and bump map, you want to differentiate from one from the other. So it's essential. Secondly, make sure your size is 2048 on X and Y pixel size. Reason why is you want a high res, so at least have a high res photo to outline and texture. Same thing goes with the picture references that you're using. Make sure it's high res so you won't have dead pixels or like excess pixels. You want it to make it crisp and clear. Image format, you could either have it on JPEG or on a TIFF. TIFF is ideal because one, it's a high res extension, so at least you could capture all the information in there. Again, edge color should be set to white. Everything should be set up here. Once you have done that, press apply and close. There we go. Once I have that, all I have to do is go right here to my file directory. Now, all I have to do is refresh. Let's see. And I have my TIFF image. So once you have that, all you have to do is pretty much import that into Photoshop. But this is part 2 of UV mapping. Thank you again.